Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, it would certainly mean a lot. Operating an Airbus A380, or you know what, for that matter, any quad-engine jet nowadays, is widely applauded by enthusiasts because of shifts we're seeing in industry trends that have seen many carriers move away from these kinds of aircraft and more towards twin-engine, fuel-efficient types. However, Global Airlines, a proposed startup carrier, is hoping to launch services in 2024, and as the title suggests, operate entirely with a fleet of Airbus A380s. That's right, no combination, say, including 787s or 350s, maybe even the 777X looking ahead, or on the cheap, some old 777s, just the A380. Which is now a wildly out-of-favour aircraft that for most airlines is the topic of retirement rather than long-term future planning. What's this airline about? Does it stand a chance? And let me examine some of the rather sketchy areas of the business. Global Airlines wants to bring back, as they say, the golden age of air travel, with a modern flair. Based in the United Kingdom, the mission is to grow to a fleet of wide-bodies exceeding 100 units by 2025 as part of their global expansion, with 75 featured routes. Their mission is to focus on feeding in traffic from European hub airports to their destinations. As for their prospective route map, it's interesting to say the least, with just about every imaginable city listed and city pairings also noted down that are not even possible with the limitations of the A380. Thus far, Global Airlines has purchased its initial aircraft, which are A380s, and they've been acquired from Doric Aviation, a German aircraft financing company. At least this is the information that they've provided. These A380s, however, have much speculation around them. Why, you may ask? Well, we know that one is the former high-fly aircraft, but the remaining A380s don't really have all that many details surrounding them, just that Global Airlines has seemingly entered into a purchase agreement for them. One aircraft already features a partially painted Global Airlines livery that their CEO has teased needs a bit more red, indicating that a full livery might be coming soon, but as for the remaining units, they're nowhere to be seen. Global Airlines is targeting a base out of London Gatwick, with initial routes to New York and Los Angeles. Think of these as their launch routes. It's a very competitive market already, but just how competitive? Global Airlines is attempting to compete against legacy airlines and well-established / well-run companies. On the Gatwick to Los Angeles leg, the airline would be forced to perform alongside North Atlantic Airways, which may not seem like a challenge. However, suppose we shift that ever so slightly to Heathrow. Well, they're faced with competition in the London sector from American Airlines, Virgin Atlantic, British Airways, United Airlines, and Delta. And trust me, it doesn't bode any better for services through to New York, which are even more competitive and busier. Very frankly though, you can cover an airline and outline its prospective operations, but also equally be critical. For most airlines, a solid business plan is sometimes met with many flaws that do need to be ironed out before launch. For Global Airlines, the flaws are endless, and the company does not aid itself with press conferences being held that turn actually into, more so, a PR nightmare, and only reveal further cracks in the startup's plans, from financing, collaborations that are fake. PAX X, I think, covers the angle perfectly, detailing some of the core concerns with the business model and future. Global Airlines has on many occasions announced that it will be fitting its aircraft out, which is set to cost millions. However, the evaluation is lower than what should be expected, as well as many other costs that don't meet the standards of the industry and are therefore not practical to complete. This is all in line with really not so truthful business dealings. The list of issues with the acquisition of A380s goes on, and with little to no details about the other units that they've actually acquired, it really only continues to see the tide turn not in their favour. Another important avenue is the certifications required to actually begin operating before an aircraft can even be considered theirs. For Global Airlines to target a spring 2024 launch, yes, that is in under a year, and has so many crucial elements missing, well, it's concerning, but also some would say expected. For instance, the airline has claimed it's secured an air operating license, but that's been proven to be untrue, especially when its aircraft ownership is also very sketchy. Concerns about social media followings maybe aren't as important, but do tell a tale of the way the airline is operating, or should I say, startup company. There are bots and a whole lot more, all equally present for the apparent airline's following. Dubbed a dream by the person who calls themselves a businessman, many people say it's far from it. To me though, one of the biggest obstacles is also slots. They aren't easy to come by for carriers with triple the amount of backing and legitimacy as Global Airlines. However, on numerous occasions, Global Airlines has been saying it has secured slots, later proven to be untrue. Consider how much slots into major airports such as your Heathrow, Dubai, Los Angeles, and London Gatwick cost. While Gatwick plays second fiddle to Heathrow, it is hardly cheap. It is why you see new entries into the market such as Play and other low-cost units flying maybe into the smaller airport of New York or maybe to the secondary port somewhere else. But Global Airlines don't want to do that. They want to fly from hub to hub. And if you're looking at tens and tens and tens of millions for a slot for an airline that's finances seem to be very sketchy, again, it proves more concerns. And the final talking point for me is credibility, which is huge when starting an airline. Whether it be a new division of an existing brand or something totally new, being backed by industry-leading professionals with decades of experience certainly helps. And Global Airlines' leading force doesn't really have that. Pair that with a business model that is expensive and hard to run by even major airlines, turning in tens of billions of revenue per year, it presents so many questions that only continue to remain unanswered, and with, according to them, the deadline closing on when they want to be in the air. And ultimately, the company loses credibility by day. It's quickly becoming the laughingstock of the industry. But as always, it's over to you. Do you believe Global Airlines will ever fly? Or do you have another opinion? Maybe like some enthusiasts that say the only end result of Global Airlines will be jail time. I'd love to hear your opinions down below in the comments, and make sure you're staying tuned because later this week there will be coverage on another very big aviation company that, similar to Global Airlines but maybe a little bit more advanced, is failing to prove itself on certain fronts. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you next time for more coverage on the fantastic aviation world.